Welcome to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. Grab yourself a slice, strap into the party wagon, and hang on tight. Give it up for your hosts, the Cowabunga Combo, Justin and Eric.
The Last Ronin II, story by Tom Waltz and Kevin Eastman, art by Iseu and Isaac Escorza, Ben Bishop, with colors by Luis Antonio Delgado, letters and design by Sean Lee. We start out with the action, Casey Marie Jones wearing her purple hero outfit, arms wrapped with her half Casey mask is kicking someone. Looks like she's taking down some of the gang members. She takes them down without mercy. "You idiots don't know when to quit, do you? Yorkville Warriors. We fought them before, but this was their third attack on our base in as many months. We see the resistance is also taking them down." Title card, Last Ronin II. We can see now it looks like they're all surrounded and being wrapped up. But something's different each time. Better weapons, slightly more disciplined, and always larger numbers. As she continues to strike in them, then one of the resistance kicks him in the face, knocking out the electronic baton that he has. Their strikes are planned. Not the usual smash and grab. "Wrap this up, troops. Pincer move and block the damn exits. Want at least one of these punks conscious this time," says Casey Marie Jones. The title says, Red Skies at Dawn. Someone with glasses has a lead pipe. It looks like he's going to try to hit Casey Marie in the back of the head with a nightstick. And she goes, "Seriously, Rah?" As he goes to hit her, she catches it midstream with a shoomp, and she picks him up and holds him in a choke slam. "You're obviously not smart enough to be in charge, but smart enough to answer some questions." So she throws him into a door. "Wait over there." Just seeing just how physically imposing she is, and she's muscular, and she just throws these people around. She shouldn't be able to pick them up, but she clearly can. Her mutation is in full swing. "Take them down hard, crew, but none die tonight."
"These tactics ain't working anymore, Jones."
"Damn straight. I'm getting too old for this against the world crap," says two of the resistance.
"The more skulls we crack, the more line up for the same freaking thing 2 weeks later."
She drop kicks another one in a red jacket. "The price we pay for being the good guys." "If you say so," says one of the resistance members. Can't blame my crew for complaining. They're right. There's too many bad guys and too few of us. It's only getting worse. Month after month, year after year. Now, a big jump kick sends another one in a red jumpsuit flying. In the 15 years since Hiroto and the Foot Clan fell, the corruption in New York's gotten out of control at all levels. There's as many criminals inside the government as outside it. The crime bosses are calling all the shots. Someone takes a swipe at her with a knife, she ducks under, then uppercuts him with then with a chock, elbows to the back of the face. Half of rock bottom's out of work, leaving us to fend for ourselves while the rich hoard everything. No one trusts the police either. The few good cops that do exist are just as overwhelmed as we are. You can see one of them's bear hugging one of the gang members, and the other one pops one right in the face with a haymaker that knocks him down, leaving all kinds of room for low-level gangs to run the streets. Hitting our facilities, jacking anything they can get their hands on. She slips past another one, then grabs his electric baton and then throws it at him. It's up to us to hold the line, to do the right thing for our people. With a high-rising knee takes another one down. The resistance were supposed to be peacekeepers after we took down the Foot. Instead, one comes at her with a flamethrower this time with a "Aah!" She ducks underneath and then hits him with a haymaker knockout punch, knocking them out of their shoes. Instead, it's become a war of attrition, and we ain't winning. As they look, they could see that they've taken down all the gang members. "Okay, that's enough," she says to the resistance members. "Get the hell out of here, all of you. Crawl home and tell the others next time no one walks out of here." "This one's still able to talk, Scrape?"
"I ain't saying nothing."
"We'll see." As she holds him up now by his neck, lifting him up off the ground. Again, she shouldn't have this type of power. "Last time you punks were here, you didn't have such pretty outfits and fancy equipment. Who's hooking you up?" As she has her other hand on his face as if she's crushing his skull a little bit.
Think I'm gonna tell you, you goody two-shoes losers? Everyone on the streets knows you're nothing.
Looks like she cracked his jaw. His nose is bleeding. She throws him on the ground. Get him out of my face before I take his off. She deposits him on the ground. They pick him up, put him in handcuffs, and they're sending him out. Put a black bag over his head so they can't see the exit. What's the plan, Casey? Haul his sorry ass over to Commander Zuranaga's bunker.
Screw you, resistance pig. I ain't no snitch.
Right. Good luck. Now she talks to her friend Scrape. We need better intel, Scrape. Tell the interrogation team to press him.
With pleasure.
Now they're taking him out. I've got all the intel you need right now. This ain't working, says one of the guys, in kind of like a Cyclops visor and looks like he's got some sort of futuristic armor on. Another one in a full headset says, yeah, these fools need a permanent beatdown. No more interrogation. Casey looks down and says, maybe. Let's keep trying it my way a little bit longer. Now get some rest. I'm headed home, she says to her crew as she walks away. Now, into the turtle's lair. We can see. Looks like Uno, Odyn, Moja, and Yi are all sitting in the kitchen. She says, I'm headed home to check on my kids. Hurry up. Sensei's gonna kill us. Come on, enough already. She's not going to kill us. Much, says Yi and Odyn. Wow, that makes me feel so much better, Una, says Moja. She'll know we snuck out again. Bah, dead. All of us chucked into the East River to the end. He lights a match and lights a candle. Seriously? How old are you for? Says Uno. We're teenagers. We're supposed to be rebellious. Isn't that your whole thing, Moja? Besides being morbid. Being a rebel's not supposed to be stupid, idiot. Ha, you're just scared of Sensei. Uno's talking to his sister in this way. Ooh, big bad Uno with his big bad I'm grown up act. Funny how you don't talk so tough when Sensei's training us, Captain Buttkiss. Whatever, just get started. Now Yi says, yes, and it's my turn. I love it when we tell the tell. Me too, especially how you tell it, Yi. Can you please go back to mind talking? The pictures are cooler inside my head. That way so dramatic like a comic book. Geez, grow up, dude. They're referring to how they were talking telepathically before. It's called telepathy. Leave him alone, Uno. He knows what it's called, says Moja. And why do we have to do this every time anyway? It's not like we haven't had 1 trillion times already. Because it's the promise we made, says Yi, to one another the first time we found out our own secret lair. To always remember where we came from, to honor the heroes who came before, and to show respect for everything Master Splinter has taught all of us. Everybody ready? As they sit around the table holding hands. Yep. Ditto. Okay, here we go, says Yi. Now, we flash back. The story, it all began a long, long time ago, when the most powerful ninja warriors in all of Japan were the Foot Clan. The two best of the best in the clan were the honorable Hamato Yoshi and the ruthless, evil Oroku Nagi. Though their friendship was strong, as children, Nagi became obsessed with taking absolute control over all the Foot Clan. As they grew older, he swore that no one would stand in his way, including Hamato Yoshi. Their bond of brotherhood was already nearly broken by the time the young, beautiful Tang Shin chose Yoshi over Nagi, and Nagi could not stand to be denied. One dark and stormy night, Nagi demanded Tang Shin confess her true love for him and not Yoshi. When she refused, he jealously turned violent. The only thing stronger than the power of the Foot Clan was the love Hamato Yoshi and Tang Shin had for each other, so when Yoshi returned home to discover the horror of Nagi's rage, he was blinded by anger, and Oroku Nagi was no more. That was the day Nagi's only son, Orokosaki, swore mortal revenge against Hamato Yoshi for killing his father, and a blood feud had began. The once mighty Foot Clan was now a house divided. Many soldiers along with the rest of the Hamato family retreated to the safety of the mountains, and would later become the honorable Clan Hamato, the only warriors to stand against the terror of the Foot at that time. The remainder of the Foot, however, sided with young Orokosaki and turned to the dark and dishonorable underworld of power, crime, and murder. And now all the while Saki plotted his revenge. To escape Yoshi's crime against the Foot Clan and protect the rest of their family, it was agreed that Yoshi and Shen must seek refuge in the steel and concrete mountains of New York City until a proper truce could be negotiated. Taking only their most precious belongings like Yoshi's beloved pet rat Splinter, and with the help of the elite sensei Master Yip, they made a journey east to the humble, loving home far away from danger. Now we can see young Hamato Yoshi and Tang Shen. Looks like they're just in love here. Going through this, we could see Oroku Saki, and all of this is in Ben Bishop's art style. So Oroku Nagi, Oroku Saki, and Tang Shen and Hamato Yoshi. Now onto this, we can see an image of just what happened. Or so they thought. The years passed, and Oroku Saki's hatred of Hamato Yoshi and Tang Shen grew even stronger, as did the Foot Clan's empire. Eventually, Saki's spies found the young lovers in New York. We see what looks like the Shredder now. Now, leader of the Foot Clan in his razor-sharp armor, calling himself the Shredder, Saki sanguinely ended the blood feud. His vengeance was complete, as he kills them. Or so he thought. The old rat, Splinter's survival instincts, took over and he fled into the nearby sewers, where he was greeted with the most amazing sight. 4 baby turtles, happily wading in a puddle of thick green ooze. You see the origin story of the turtles, where all 4 of them are down there in the muck, and then Splinter drops onto them. Once again, the years passed, and the rat and the turtles made their sewers their home. The mysterious ooze had changed them all into mutants, into a family. Splinter, as their adopted father, named the turtles based on his favorite, this is my favorite part, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello, and Raphael. Master Splinter, as a sensei, trained them in the art of ninjutsu in order to destroy the Shredder for the murder of Hamato Yoshi and Tang Shen, and to end the Foot Clan's reign of terror forever. Using every skill Master Splinter taught the turtles over the many years of training, the historic showdown was a battle royale that would become legendary in our family history. Every beginning must have an end, and that night 4 turtles made sure Oroku Saki met his. The story goes that it was Leonardo who seems that the Shredder was shredded. They show all the turtles killing Shredder simultaneously. Unfortunately, it was not the end that they had hoped for. The battle with the Shredder was over, but the blood feud was not, and the war with the Foot Clan had just begun. It was just then that our forefathers understood that they could no longer be the warriors of vengeance. They chose to protect the innocent, in our city of New York as well. Now it goes from red and white into full color. We see full color Ben Bishop art with Karai and all the Ninja Turtles, Hiroto, and then the Ronin as it plays through the story of the Last Ronin. Oroku Saki's direct heir, Oroku Karai, took the war to the streets and seemed like a never-ending conflict. The blood feud remained thicker than water, as we show when she and Raphael sort of killed each other in the water. And then, with Oroku Hiroto, when Raphael fell and Oroku Karai was consumed by the forever sleep, the dark days of her sole heir, Oroku Hiroto, began. All the heroes were lost, as was the salvation. For years, the unending terror and the suffering in the city was unbearable. We show, looks like Fugitoid being destroyed in the same blast with Casey Jones and Leonardo. And then, Master Splinter and Donatello with the arrows. Then when it seemed the last flicker of light would fade, he returned. The Last Ronin. We see the Last Ronin there with Casey Marie Jones. Michelangelo, the family's sole survivor, rising like an avenging knight above New York, the end of Hiroko bloodline, and the Forever War. Together with our grandmother April, our mom Sensei Casey Marie, and the heroes of the resistance, the tide of the battle was finally turned. And the last Oroku was no more. Michelangelo's family was avenged, and New York City was free again, but not without incredible loss. Michelangelo was the last of his kind, a lifelong friend to Grandma and a mentor to our mom, a hero to us all. And we all wish we had the chance to know him. It shows the turtles with the mutagen that April had done to create these. And then, that's when we were born, and it shows them as young turtles training with each other. We have trained ever since to carry on the honorable traditions of the clan Hamato, Master Splinter and Master Michelangelo, to always protect and serve our family and our friends, and our city, says Yi. Not bad. Not how I do it, but good enough, says Uno. Ha, you're just jealous because she tells it better than you, Uno, says Moja. No, I'm not. And I didn't say I was better. I just do things differently, that's all, says Uno. Here we go again, says he. Yep, says Odyn. Anyway, it's getting late. Let's go, says Uno. Well, at least you're right about one thing tonight, snorts Odyn. Whatever. Yi blows out the candle, and they leave. Now, into what looks like an industrial factory area where April is standing with some scientists and building. Looks like a big system into the sewers here. Okay, Marley, go ahead and send everyone but the night watch home. You got it, Dr. Jones, referring to April. Marley is a young woman with a dark complexion, dark hair, and a red bandana, wearing red gloves and sort of a matching brown and red outfit, has a bullhorn and says, All right, guys, pack it up. We're calling it a day. Another great job. Thanks, everyone, says April. See you tomorrow. Okay, Ahmed. How bad is it? Says April. Well, Dr. Jones, we've made some progress with the pumps, but we're keeping the water levels down in the sector, but until we expand the patchwork that we're sending through those, we're spending more time chasing leaks than we are tunneling, which we can't get fuel or parts anyway, boss. Specifics, please, says April as they continue. My inventory shows we have enough fuel to keep 32% of our excavation equipment operable, but we have 0 drill bits left for our main boring machine. Well, sort of fabricating them ourselves, we knew finding replacement parts would be tough. I'll reach out to Tinker, too, and see if she knows anything available on the black market fuel, too. Good luck with that, wacko. We have way more work than people to do it. Sighs April. We can see now her cybernetic hand. I'll speak with Commander Zerinaga and see if he can spare more troops. That'll be tough, Dr. Jones. All the resistance teams are spread way too thin in recruiting. Well, most folks got other things to do than worry about these days, and what we're doing. Maybe I'll talk to him. He knows how crucial connections are in those tunnels will be for moving support troops and emergency teams around the city. Well, if you allow me to assist you with the development of the nanometals that we've been using for the patchwork, that would free up some of our current workforce from having to constantly deal with leakage issues, says Ahmed. Let me think on it, Ahmed. I'm still running a lot of safety tests on this new tech. She puts her hand on his shoulder. I just want to make sure that I know what we're doing before bringing you into the middle of it. Okay. Well, I know I'm not the only one tired as hell. Let's look at these problems with fresh eyes tomorrow. April finishes up with them, and they all leave. Now, back with the turtles as they're on the rooftops coming thing. Time to head home. Dang it, we should have gone straight to the west side. We're getting through the neighborhoods. It's taking too long, says Uno. Who's worried about being late now, huh? Besides, there's too many homeless over there. This'll be quicker. They're everywhere, says Yi. I feel so sad for them. I wish we could help somehow. Me too. Except Sensei says we gotta stay underground because people won't understand us, says Odyn. You think she'll ever change her mind? Asks Yi. Maybe, but right now we gotta get our butts home before we get put in restriction again, says Moja. Yeah, last time was 3 months and no games. Sensei said the next time's gonna be 6. What, 6? Says Odyn. Knock off the chatter. Jeez, says Uno. Now you even sound like Sensei. Besides, you started it, and I'm ending it. Hustle, just 5 more blocks. I thought we were hustling, finishes Uno. They're all talking mentally via telepathy as they go, so they're being as quiet as possible. They jump onto what looks like a flying bus. Just because we're late doesn't mean we get caught. We sneak in the same way as we snuck out. Easy. Except nobody else was home when we snuck out, Uno. Which is why we gotta do it quick and quiet, Yi. As they jump off from a bus to the train tracks to the subway into the sewers as they're going. Like ninjas. Hell yeah. Oh, spare me. As they go past Bleecker Street. Remember, quick and quiet. Into the sewers, closing the manhole. Some bums think they saw them, but they're just not as interested. Now, into the sewers. Looks like Uno has changed his colors a little bit. I'll be even luckier if Grandma April brings me home takeout. I'm starving. Still dark. No one's home yet, says Uno. Talk about lucky, retorts Yi. What's new? Wait, something smells wrong. You and your overactive nose, Moja. You just keep moving, drop the gear, and let's get to our rooms before they... Check it out, says Casey Marie as he turns on the light, catching them. Looks like we got some nasty cockroaches sneaking around the place, says Casey Marie, who's out of her outfit now. Now Graham April says, Yep, except roaches are usually quick enough to scatter when the lights come on, says April. Where have you sneaky little bugs been? It was Uno's idea, says Odyn. Dude! No, that's not true. It was all our idea. Are we in trouble? Says Yi. Nah, it's fine. Let's order pizza and celebrate you for breaking the rules. What do you think, Yi? I'm just way too tired to decide what the right punishment is right now. You and me both, kid, says April to Casey Marie, but the pizza idea does sound pretty good. Moja said next time we snuck out, we were supposed to get 6 months of restriction. Yi, what the hell? Says Moja. What she meant to say was going outside was a good way to practice our, Odyn fumbles, but Uno picks it up. Our stealth skills. Yeah, stealth practice. Really? Seems more like you're practicing your lying skills to me, says Casey Marie. Says April. Get washed up, kids. We'll figure out dinner as soon as the news is over. I swear, you think these just make up the rules to just be hard-asses, not for their safety. I hear you, kiddo. Lucky for me, you never broke any of my rules when you were their age, says April. Huh, whatever. Good evening, New York. This is Amanda Rose Connor, reporting live for Channel 6 News from the steps of City Hall, where moments ago, Mayor Palmolati and Police Chief Farley concluded what at best described as a contentious press conference. Let me guess, some of the same old, lie and redirect, says April. They've got no clue people are already past the breaking point, or that they just don't care. Hey, it's Amanda Connor. She's so awesome, says Yi. And pretty, says Odyn. Gee, thirsty much, Odyn, says Moja. When asked about addressing years of steadily rising crime rates in the city, Mayor Palmolati had this to say. By focusing on the slightly elevated crime rate, you lose sight of our main plan, expanding available job opportunities for our citizenry. We're working diligently with business leaders in our community to introduce a variety of new employment opportunities citywide, which will help reduce criminal activity. Back to Amanda. When pressed about what kinds of protection and life support citizens should expect while these so-called near-future job opportunities are being discussed, Mayor turned the podium over to Chief Farley. Look, I'll be doing every cop on the force a disservice if I didn't call out the media for adding unnecessary drama to an already complicated situation. Things aren't perfect in this city right now, but they aren't as bad as you reporters are painting them. I guarantee all the officers on NYPD are doing their very best to keep it that way. Amanda asked the question. Then shouldn't we worry about the rumors of a citywide gang war brewing, which, if true, could potentially put all New Yorkers in the crossfire? She asked him directly. Right, exactly, rumors. That's what you hacks are operating from these days. Now back, Mayor Palmolati. What the chief means, despite any unfounded gossip to the contrary, my administration is working in tandem with the police department and feels confident that the city's on a positive, speedy, and most importantly, peaceful path to recovery. Now, if you'll excuse us, Lieutenant Jiro Wantabi will take things from here. That'll be all for today, ladies and gentlemen. Please feel free to submit any further questions to my office directly, and thank you. Back to Amanda. We are once again left with more questions than answers from this administration, which continuously fails to put in place any real plans for recovery or factually address overwhelming homelessness and food shortages. And with independently tabulated crime statistics providing factual counter to the Chief Farley's claims of media-driven hysteria, his guarantees to protect and serve fall short of the needs of the real people in our city. One thing you can be certain of, however, is that I will continue to push for answers and provide any updates as soon as they become available. Amanda Rose Connor, reporting live from City Hall, Channel 6 News. As they switch back to their conversation. Poor Jiro, he's got to be frustrated by this, says April. Beyond. It's clear what's going wrong, but he doesn't know who to trust him to fix it. The Resistance could really use someone like him. Have you talked to him about joining? Not yet. I still want to keep those two worlds separate. Too many lives at stake is what makes any mistakes right now, says Casey Marie. Well, I think waiting to eat any longer is a mistake. Who's ready for dinner? I am, says Odyn. Shocker, says Uno. Crap, that's the emergency line. Commander Zaranaga, what's going on? Sorry, Casey. I know this just came up off shift. We've got 2 facilities under attack, and I don't have the troops to reinforce both. The Sector 7 Armory in West Harlem is a priority, but the main food bank is urgent care base on the docks, with 2 bridges is getting hit hard. I'm taking a squad uptown, but 2 bridges is your backyard. Can you pull your team back together and deal with that? They need reinforcements now. My guys have gone 2 weeks straight without a break. Anyone you can find, Casey? They're being overrun. She looks very intently at the phone. April comes back. What's going on? Commander Zaranaga, 2 more bases are under attack. It's bad. They need help right now. There's no one left, but... She closes her eyes, thinks for a minute. Kids, grab your gear, weapons too. It's time to fight, she says. Wait, Casey, it's too soon. Let's talk about this, says April. Finally, some real action, says Uno, as they all walk on. Time to kick some serious ass. Uno, language. I'm going to call Commander Zaranaga. There have to be other soldiers he can send, says April. No time, Mom. It's up to us. Sorry. It's okay, Grammy. We've been training our whole lives, says Yi. Yeah, well, we'll be totally safe, says Odyn. Damn it, Casey Marie, says April. Now, into the facility we can see. It looks like a red crosses everywhere and it's being overrun by gang members. Casey Marie says, Commander Zaranaga wasn't kidding. This is a frickin' mess. Bad enough that they steal our stuff, but now they're trashing the place too. Okay, nothing fancy, just follow my lead and pick a target. Casey Marie, back in her action outfit, the black with purple, and she's got the half mask as she runs in, starts taking people down quite quickly with a hit. And take them down hard. Don't you idiots know everything here's already free? She starts smacking them in the face as she picks one up. All you gotta do is wait in line, just like everyone else. She throws one back into a line of others. Be a lot less painful that way. For you. Whoa, says Moja. Sensei's a beast. I'm not sneaking out of the lair ever again, says Yi. Hey ninjas, this is what you all trained your whole lives for. Quit standing around and fight. As she's fighting about 6 of them at once. Sensei's right, says Moja. Come on, says Uno. They spring into action. Damn it, Mom's right, says Casey Marie. Maybe I'm pushing them into this too soon, as she uppercuts one of them. Please, don't let this be a mistake, she says. We see Uno getting into it, taking the one out with a jump kick. Another one swings over and he ducks. What gang you freaks supposed to be? We're not a gang and we're not freaks. We're ninjas. As he knocks a blade out of one of their hands and stabs another with his katana blade. Now, Yi doing a big flip. Perfect, I've been practicing this for 2 months. There's a big flip onto the ground with the bow staff like a pole vault, and then lands, knocking everybody out of the way. Can't hit what you can't catch. Knocks to the ground, knocks him out. Another one, running forward with some medical supplies, doesn't see Odyn there. Forget this, I'm out of here. Boom. Knocks into him and just stonewalls, falls down on the ground. Didn't notice the giant turtle there blocking his way. Casey Marie looks over and holds one in another chokeslam position, and she can see the turtles are not only holding their own, they're doing great. We see Moja and we see Uno. Their training's kicking in, and they're taking out 4 or 5 at a time. They're actually doing it. Odin's just standing there with kind of a perplexed look on his face. Yi takes out another one with the bow staff. One with the back, and then with a palm strike to the front. Moja knocks one into the air with a back kick, knocking a wrench out of their hands. And then Odyn again just standing there. Talk about zero training, says Moja as she hits another one with an elbow into the face. Yeah, they ever hear of ducking or blocking, says Uno. Woot, as one gets punched in the gut by Casey Marie. I don't remember training you to jabber. Just finish your business like I taught you. Watch all the incoming attacks, angles, weapons at the ready, says Casey Marie. She hits another one with a rising knee strike. Know your next strike before you finish the first, and stay 1 step ahead of them. And always cover each other's backs. Now Yi with a crescent kick, taking one out. Yes, Sensei. Odyn pulls out some giant nunchucks. Yes. As he starts to say Sensei, he senses something behind him, and he goes completely gray and turns to what seems like stone, as someone smashes the handle of a hammer on him with a crack. No! Odyn! Casey Marie ducks out of the way. Moja, your brother! What the hell happened? We don't know, Sensei. It's like he's frozen solid. As we could see, all of the thugs have been knocked out on the ground, and now they're just looking at their brother, Odyn, who stands there like a monolith, almost looking like he's turned to complete stone. And that's the end of the first issue of Last Ronin II. It says to be continued.
It's pizza time.
And now, in a segment that we call Pizza Time, where we discuss any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or pizza-related food, I give you Pizza Time. And your pizza recipe of the day comes to us from our friend of the show, Julian Hester from the What's in My Head podcast. He's also the head chef for the Vanilla Gorilla and Mary's Country Kitchen down in Tavares, Florida. Julian writes, start out with the pizza sauce, 1 can of 24-ounce crushed tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons black pepper, 2 tablespoons of garlic powder and onion powder, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 2 tablespoons of Aleppo chili pepper. You can use crushed red pepper flakes as well, but Aleppo is so much better. You can get it cheap on Amazon, he says. 1/2 teaspoon of MSG. Mix together and let it hang out for a day or so to develop flavor. No need to cook. For the dough, 380 grams of bread flour, 235 grams of cool water, 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, 20 grams of olive oil, 8 grams of salt. Mix the yeast and water with a whisk and let sit aside for 5 minutes until it's bubbly. Add the flour, salt, oil to a stand-up mixer and mix on low for 5 minutes. Once incorporated, pull out of the bowl on a floured surface until you need with a little bit more bread flour until it's not sticky and very elastic. Put in a bowl for 2 hours covered. Punch down the dough and divide into 225 grams and then shape into a ball. Put into a lightly greased container with extra virgin olive oil and then pop it into the fridge. Take out 1 to 2 hours before use. Then the dough is at room temperature and start to stretch. Pro tip. I like mine to set in the fridge for 2 to 3 days. It gets really beery and yeasty with like vibes of fermentation. Better tasting dough. For toppings, 2 cups of whole milk mozzarella shredded cheese, 1/2 cup of sliced Kalamata olives and chopped artichoke. Distribute on top. And there's your pizza for the day from our friend Julian Hester from the What's in My Head podcast.
Cowabunga, dudes!
Thank you for listening to the Epic Tales from the Sewers podcast. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. This podcast has no affiliation with Eastman, Laird, Mirage Studios, IDW Studios, Archie Comics, or Nickelodeon Studios. This podcast is a member of the Dorkening Podcast Network. Check out thedorkening.com for other podcasts. This podcast is also a member of the Collector's Maze Podcast Network. Check them out at collectorsmazenetwork.com. Epic Tales from the Sewers is recorded by Justin Cooper and Eric Will.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. We have very active lifestyles. It's not all wandering the countryside aimlessly or scaring passing motorists. And we all love a good cup of joe. And there's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. Bold, robust, delicious. It's coffee that can wake the dead. With over a dozen different roasts and flavors, Deadly Grounds can satisfy the most finicky of coffee addicts. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Well, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Seed's trying to say is that on Retro Red Octopus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh.
And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Dorking Podcast Network with new episodes every Tentacle Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Red Octopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
It took me 10 years to make the perfect man cave.
And then we took it over, and we made it into the multiversal chamber.
Then I started my own podcast.
And we took that over too. And we're the co-hosts, the Multiverse Kids.
Yeah, and I'm the dad, the geeky dad. And every week, we what?
We review the movies, shows, and books, games, and toys.
Yeah, and sometimes we even have a special guest. So, join us every week on the Geeky Dad Podcast.
Hello, intrepid listeners. This is the Generation Playlist Podcast, a podcast about music where we are your guides through a particular group or artist.
We talk about the music, and then we make a customized playlist to share with you, our listeners. And you can check us out wherever you listen to podcasts and find our playlists on Spotify.
Epic Tales from the Sewers is a new member of the Collector's Maze Network for all things geek. Check out other shows such as the Realmcast, The Creature Designer, The Evil Squid Comics, Eat, Drink, and Game, Road Tripvia, Collector's Maze Podcast, The Cosplay Club, Click On, Journey Through Lego Builds, House of Geekery, Floor Access, Cartridge in a Quest, Cost to Read, Avalon Universe, and Scooby Addicts.